Hi there, Deborah Caswell coming to you live from sunny San Diego. So I just want to real quick get this out there. I am understanding the importance of one take and post it and walk away because I did a full video just a few minutes ago and I said that this was video number 14 and I knew at the end of the video, no, this is video number 15 in my 30-day series. And I decided to go back and redo my video so that I'm saying that it's the correct video. Bad idea. You know why? Because I already talked about a bunch of stuff, so now I can't remember what I've talked to you about and what I haven't. So anyway, this is going to be my final take. Take it or leave it. You can walk away right now if you want to. It's not up to me. It's up to you. Anyway, this is day number 15 in my 30-day series, and I saw something this morning that was interesting to me, and that is that there is a Dumb and Dumber 2 movie coming out with Jim Carrey, and I don't remember the other guy's name, but I just, it's funny because I don't know, about 3 weeks ago, I think I sent a picture to my sister, and I said, oh my gosh, my new bangs are coming in, and I look more and more like Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber every single day, which I find incredibly hilarious. I love it. So in honor of Lloyd and Dumb and Dumber, I am sporting my Lloyd haircut. Yes. And if you don't know who Lloyd is, I'm going to show you on my computer right now. So hold tight. Here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. It's Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey as Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber. And yep, indeed, I'm sporting the haircut. Loving it. Anyway, I was thinking about Jim Carrey when I saw that his movie was coming out. I was thinking about him, and I just have a lot of respect for him as an actor and as a comedian and as a dreamer. He has done just such phenomenal things in his life, and the reason he's successful is because he put it out there that he was going to be successful before he ever was. He believed in himself, he had a dream, he had goals, and he put them out there and he attained them. And he's just one of my heroes. The other thing I was thinking about today is how many movies my dad and I used to sit and just watch and belly laugh and cry through. And, they were Jim Carrey's movies. Airplane was our big one. That was the one that we used to watch every time we got together after I became an adult and moved out. And we'd go spend Thanksgiving or Christmas together, and it was always Airplane. And then one year we watched Robin Hood Men in Tights, and the two of us belly laughed through that whole thing, and we're crying at the part where Little John and Robin Hood meet on the bridge, and they have that horrible fight, so that Robin Hood can cross the bridge, and Little John ends up nearly drowning, and it is it's so dumb, but it is the funniest. I just love movies like that. They're just hilarious. So anyway, I was thinking about that today, and I was laughing about that. One of the things I want to talk about with Jim Carrey is he grew up super, super poor. And I guess I heard this recently. I guess his dad was really funny as well, as you would imagine he would be. And but he didn't have that dream. He didn't believe in himself enough to follow that dream, and so he continued to go to work and go to his job and do what everybody else does, which is go and one day he was laid off. He didn't have that job anymore, and Jim Carrey and his family actually lived in a vehicle in a relative's yard for a while because they were so dirt poor. Now, when Jim Carrey was 10 years old, he created a resume for himself and he sent it to the Carol Burnett Show. Now, that's belief. That's somebody who has, even at the age of 10, that's somebody who has a big dream and a big belief in themselves that they can do something. And I just think that is so awesome. But this is the story that most people know. When Jim Carrey was, I don't know how old he was, in 1990, he was on the comedic circuit, I think, in Los Angeles, and but he was still dead broke, wasn't making any money, and but he had a big dream, and so he pulls his check. He's sitting in his car one night, and he's just, he's got nothing. He takes his checkbook out and he writes himself a check, and he writes himself a check for $10 million in 1990, and in the memo section he wrote, for acting services rendered. And the date that he put on there was Thanksgiving 1995. So he was giving himself 5 years to meet this goal. Now, I should say, by 1995, he was actually being paid, I think it was $20 million per film. So he met his goal and exceeded his goal. He met a goal that to most people is so incredibly out there and unattainable, and nobody can do that. Well, yeah, you know what? People do that. People do it. A lot of people do it. And the way they do it is they believe in themselves and they believe in their abilities and they write it down and they think about it. Where your thoughts go, energy flows. So if you're focused and you're determined and you're focused on something, you can achieve it. If you believe that you can achieve it, you can achieve it. And I'm talking about financially, I'm talking about athletes. How do you think, when you look at some of these athletes, how do you think they do the things that they do? I would never go get myself onto a snowboard and think to jump into the air and fly and do Tony Hawk is on a skateboard, so that wouldn't be Shaun White. I would never. For me personally, that's not a dream of mine to go and do that. But if that was a dream of mine, probably when I was a little younger, because the arthritis in my neck probably wouldn't be a good idea to jump on a snowboard. Anyway, I digress. When you believe in yourself and you believe that you can do it, you can do it, and you learn how to do it, and you go after your dreams. And that's what Jim Carrey did. And I think it's such a phenomenal story, and I think everybody should know that story. One of the things that I can remember back in, I think it was back in 2000, it was in 1998, I guess, when I moved down to Dallas, Texas with Danica. She was a baby. And somewhere during that time, I was up and I had ordered some Susie Orman tapes to listen to. And one of the things that Susie Orman said was, and this is curious, write it down. Write down what you want. Figure out what you want. Write it down. Focus on it. Put it up in your bathroom. Put it up in places where you're going to see it. Read it every single day. Read it to yourself every single day. So I did this. And my sign back then said, I am a strong, beautiful woman who makes $10,000 per month. That was my dream. And I remember in 2001 when I got a job at a software company, doing something, by the way, that I still look back on that and I think, somebody gave me a good reference, and somebody that I had worked with in Dallas gave me an excellent reference, and told this company, you really need to call Deborah Brown at the time. You really need to call her and talk to her, because we think she would be excellent for this job. And it was a startup company, and they were looking for a product manager. I at that point did not know what a product manager would do, but I just happened to talk to somebody who was a great influencer in my life for a short period of time, and I'll never forget him telling me, you can do anything you set your mind to. Go in, interview for it, go in and just listen to what they have to say, figure it out, and you can do it. So I did. I went for it and I got the job. I wasn't making $10,000 a month. In fact, the first number they threw out at me was pretty low, I thought, for the kind of job that I was getting. But I took it and I told them, I accepted the offer on one condition, that they would give me a review 3 months from then, and settle up on an income that they thought would be appropriate for what I was doing. And sure enough, 3 months later, I think I got a $23,000 a year raise. Because I went in, I kept my mouth shut, I kept my ears open, I figured it out, I took a lot of notes, I wanted to succeed, and I did. And by the time I left that company in 2007, I think it was, 2006 maybe it was 2006, I hadn't reached my goal yet, but it was still my goal. The first trip that I took with my boss in that company, I told him, I said, you should know my goal is $10,000 per month. So that's my goal. That's where we're headed. If that's not going to work, you need to let me know now, because that's where I'm headed. So anyway, I did finally meet that number, and I exceeded. In fact, I well exceeded that number when I became self-employed, and I was setting my own hours and I was doing my own thing. And I met and exceeded those numbers. But the point of the whole story is, just as Jim Carrey did, just as so many people have done. And by the way, this is Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich 101. This is a 101 course on that book. That's what he says. You figure out what you want, you write it down, you set a date to it. And by the way, when you think about what you want, you make it so astronomically out there that it is just, it's crazy talk. But you focus on it and you make it happen. And anybody can do this. Anybody can. And anyway, when I saw Jim Carrey this morning, I thought about that, and I thought about Susie Orman. I thought about everybody else out there that says this over and over and over and over again. These successful people. Listen to the successful people. When you have people around you who are cutting you down, who are making fun of you, or telling you can't and you never will and you won't do this and you won't do that, look at the 5 people around that person, their 5 closest friends and influencers. And if those people aren't where you want to be, don't listen to them. Don't take advice from them. Believe in yourself. I hope everybody who watches this will have just a little more belief in yourself today. And anyway, that's my video for today. I'm going to head out and find my ray of sunshine. I've got a few things that I have to do this afternoon, but I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I hope you'll all put it on your calendar to go watch this Dumb and Dumber 2 movie, if that's your thing. It's my thing. I just love that kind of humor. And it gives me a purpose for my haircut, So hopefully by the time that movie is no longer playing, hopefully I'll have, bangs down to here. We'll see. Anyway, I will chat with you all tomorrow. Thanks for listening. I'm grateful to you. Take care of yourself, and over and out. Bye.